Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Hipsters Podcast, where I interview founders and co founders, entrepreneurs and artists, executives and stay at home hipsters in crypto and blockchain around the world. And I have an amazing podcast for you today. Let's get to it. And today I have an amazing guest. His name is Mark Wittenberg, and he is the president at Canadian Dealer Solutions and an advisor in several crypto projects. Mark, welcome to the show today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad you're here. Without guests, I wouldn't have a show. So, and without great guests, I wouldn't have great content. So I'm glad you're here. So let's kick things off. First question is, what is your background, and is it a logical background for what you do now?
So I've spent many years, like my own personal company is in finance and credit. So I've spent decades in finance and credit related industries. So is it a logical background for what I do now? Absolutely. As an advisor to some cryptocurrency companies and also some outside tech companies. Having a background with the experience of scaling companies out, I certainly think it's relevant in the cryptocurrency space for sure.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about some of your projects today. And we're going to talk about the first one I want to ask about is a project called Hypersphere. What is Hypersphere, and what role does your company have in the evolution of cybersecurity?
So first of all, yeah, Hypersphere is not a cryptocurrency company; it's a tech company. So Hypersphere is a quantum immune data protection shadowing technology company, patented, that ensures sensitive information, like starting with your cryptocurrency keys, is protected and safe. So yeah, the patented technology, key shadowing, was kind of designed because Hypersphere realized a long time ago that classical encryption algorithms like AES, DES, IDEA could not protect sensitive data against quantum computer attacks and other advanced attacks. So, in a nutshell, Hypersphere Technologies is a patented quantum immune technology company.
And you rely on something called shadowing, right? So what is shadowing all about?
So key shadowing is it's a secret sharing technology that permits a master key or any other data to be created, used to protect data in flight or at rest. So, and it's shadowed into any number of parts, 2, 3, or 4 parts. So basically, the master key or any other data does not have to be persistently stored. So when the data needs to be accessed, a predefined number of shadows, like 2, 3, or 4 shadows, can regenerate the master key. So with Hypersphere, I mean, modern data security has serious problems. So, I think IBM did research. I think about 4 billion data records were compromised or something in 2021, with the average total loss, I think, was about $600 billion. So attempts to address this problem generally rely on data encryption. However, this approach has significant problems. So namely, a key is used to encrypt the data, and a copy of the encrypted data must be stored. The stored information is subject to attack. So that's where Hypersphere comes into play.
So I had a podcast earlier this year with Ars Tech News, and we talked about what could kill Ethereum, right? What could kill Bitcoin?
Right.
The only thing we came up with is quantum, right? So how's
Right.
first of all, how's shadowing related to quantum computing, and could quantum computing be used to kill Ethereum and Bitcoin?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I mean, first of all, we're here to protect. There's vulnerabilities for sure. I would say that. I think with quantum computing as we move forward, I don't think it'll kill Bitcoin and Ethereum. Absolutely not. But there's always risk to people's private information for sure. But again, that's kind of where we come into play. We're kind of foreseeing some challenges in the space. So we've, Hypersphere's come up with it, an immunity to that. So
What's the immunity?
well, it's quantum immunity. So with key shadowing.
Okay. So go ahead.
So I mean, shadowing technology can help with lots of blockchain vulnerabilities. If you lose your private key, you can't authorize new transactions. For example, you can spend or redeem your Bitcoins. This has happened without any bad actors involved. If someone hacks your private key, the hacker can pretend to be you, obviously. If someone derives your private key from public key, the hacker can pretend to be you. So this vulnerability has become more acute due to the surprisingly and rapid advances of quantum computing. Example, MIT Technology Review, quantum computers pose an imminent threat to Bitcoin security, which you mentioned, and that was back in, I think that article is back in 2017. So when we do key shadowing, we're absolutely quantum immune.
Got it. Okay. Because I was looking at it from a perspective of, okay, you have Grover's and you have Shore's algorithms, and look like with the data and the Ethereum and blockchain and Bitcoin, you had to have the exact parameters at the exact right time at the exact right place in order to be able to do anything. So I wanted to see, how that would be impacted by these advancements in data security and cybersecurity.
Right. Absolutely. So I mean, with shadowing, listen, you're creating shadows of your private key. So you share those data with, say, a circle of trust, then destroy the private key. If enough people and devices in the circle of trust come together, you'll be able to recreate your private key. Right. So a private key that's never persistently stored is much harder, if not impossible, to be compromised, manipulated, stolen, or of course transferred. You create shadows of the public key, share only those shadows with the world or defined group, and then destroy the public key. So at least some number of the people and devices would have to come together to recreate that public key, just as the first step to deriving your private key from the public key. So I mean, that's kind of in a nutshell. As an advisor, I'm sort of limited to the information I have as an advisor, because I'm not currently involved in the tech part of the company, just sort of as an advisor. But so I can only go kind of so far anyway.
So Mark, you have asked a guest to join us on this call today. Could you please introduce him?
Oh boy, I don't have much time. I don't have that much time to introduce. So Mihael, Mihael, how would I classify Mihael? He is everything crypto. He's the glue that holds projects together. So I first met Mihael back, I think many years ago, with the Verge Currency project. And then obviously he's, he holds the team together, the core team together at the Verge Currency, for Verge Currency. And he's also the project manager for Voice Life Inc. Out of California. So he is basically, in a nutshell, he's the glue that holds the project and teams together.
Awesome. Mihael, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Jamil. Thanks for having me. And thank you, Mark, for the introduction and for your kind words. And I'm actually pretty excited to be here. And Mark knows this already, but this is my first podcast ever. So it's quite exciting.
And how do I pronounce your last name?
Radoslovic.
Great. Pleasure to have you here. So let me ask you the first question I asked Mark earlier. What is your background, and is it a logical background for what you do now?
Oh, well, no, it's not logical for what I do now, not at all. But my background is mechanical engineering. So I was born and raised in Rijeka, Croatia. I also finished my education here for as a mechanical engineer. And I actually worked as a mechanical engineer for the past 15 years. And very recently, I decided to quit and focus full time on Verge and Voice Life. No, I just wanted to say that even though my background is not very logical for what I do now, it's actually, I was always interested in the new technologies. And that's how I learned about Verge, because I got into crypto late 2016 or early 2017. And a couple of months later, I learned about Verge, and it was actually everything I looked for in crypto: open source, decentralized, and most importantly for me, it was community driven. And then by the time, a couple of months later, maybe end of 2017 or early 2018, I joined the Verge team. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you about Verge. First, I'm going to ask you about Voice Life.
Yep.
What is Voice Life, and what is your company's main focus?
Well, Voice Life is a development stage technology company. We have multiple patents and all related to far field and near field wireless power energy transmission. Our focus now is on providing a continuous and limitless charge to electronic devices like smartphones, Internet of Things devices, mobile devices like drones, autonomous vehicle sensors, basically all mobile electronic devices. Yeah.
So this is the first time I've heard of this, and I don't know, like maybe I've heard it before, but I really didn't focus on it. But the far field and near field energy harvesting, what is the benefit? What is that? And then what is the benefit of it?
Okay, so the like, let's say the common benefit of far field and near field energy harvesting would be that we are probably going to live in a cordless environment. So there's not going to be any cords and no traditional charging as we say it now. And with far field harvesting, we are harvesting existing energy from the frequencies emitted by low Earth orbit satellites, then 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, cell phone towers, Wi-Fi routers. So ecologically speaking, this is going to be great because it's an already existing energy that is wasted now. And benefits of the near field would be that with graphene membrane, we can transform the free ambient energy into electricity. So I can also, in short, explain to you how does it all work, because
Yes, please.
our flexible transceiver has three main components, and one would be two-dimensional graphene membrane, which is generating near field ambient energy. Then we have terahertz antenna array that converts far field ambient energy from alternating current into direct current energy charging. And then the supercapacitor that stores all this harvested energy. And that allows us to have a continuous wireless power energy system, which we have developed and patented.
You said something a little while ago. You said a couple things. The first thing, I was fully aware of 5G. I'm not at all aware of 6G. What is 6G?
Well, yeah, absolutely. 6G will come in the future, but it's going to use the same waves that we can harvest and use here. So as we know now, 6G, I believe that maybe in Korea they already have on some places 6G, but in the rest of the world, no, as far as I know. But it's going to come at some point.
And you also said that technology will revolutionize the way that we charge our smartphones and mobile devices. How is that gonna revolutionize?
Okay, so with our continuous wireless power energy system, you don't need to think about charging anymore. So simply put, you will be able to set up your phone that every time your battery capacity drops down to 80%, it charges back to 100%. And this is going to be achieved by the flexible transceiver that we have, because it allows us to constantly harvest the energy from the ambient and terahertz waves around us and convert it into electricity for a continuous charge of the mobile devices. So let's say, imagine now that you have headphones that never run out of power, or smartphones, drones that can fly forever.
That's amazing. I had to plug in my phone just to get back to 20%. So
Yeah.
If it's on all the time, that'd be awesome.
Yes, and we are getting there. We are going to get there in the near future. I'll have to add that Voice Life, we decided in 2001, actually, before I joined the Voice Life in September, they decided to transform from a manufacturing company to a licensing company. So that will allow us to focus only on technology development and new patents, and we don't need to worry about the supply chain, logistics, etc.
That's revolutionary right there. Right?
Indeed.
So one of the things that you guys use is you use the Verge Life crypto, right? In your technology. How does that work?
Okay, so it works on our flexible transceiver. One of the components will be a Verge, which basically says that it will be a Verge blockchain, because without Verge, we cannot use far-field charging. You need blockchain and you need internet connection for that. It's not required for near-field charging, but obviously far-field wireless charging is much more powerful, and it requires Verge to be used to start the charge, to initiate the charge.
Got it. Okay. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
You've been in crypto for a while, right?
Yes.
I consider cryptocurrencies to be Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Digibyte, and everything else is a token, right? You consider Verge to also be a cryptocurrency. So
Absolutely.
how is Verge like those other three, and unlike the rest of the the rest of the cryptos, and why should we classify it as a currency and not a token?
Okay, so as I'm sure you already know, the difference between tokens and coins is that coins have their own blockchain and tokens are built on existing chains. So Verge has its own blockchain, and it's mineable. It's a mineable blockchain. And yeah, it's, as you know, the difference between coins and tokens is that if you have a token is built on an existing blockchain, but to be transferred, it still uses the native blockchain. Like an ERC20 would use Ethereum for a gas as a transaction fee. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Digibyte, they use Digibyte, Litecoin, or Bitcoin to be transferred as a fee. And the same goes with Verge. So Verge is a mineable coin with its own blockchain and not a token built on another chain.
Got it.
I hope
So
that clears it.
it does. It does. What the follow-up question to that is, how does the mining of Verge benefit the voice life ecosystem and technology and what you're doing there?
Well, the mining of Verge
Mhm.
has nothing to do with voice life, but the only thing that would be potentially possible in the future is that voice life can benefit the mining of Verge, and it could become the first crypto that can be mined using the existing energy already around us.
Plain.
But
Yes.
mining of Verge itself doesn't benefit voice life in any way as
But
itself.
the opposite is true.
The opposite is true, right?
And how do you see that playing out?
Well, to be honest, I do not know at this point, but I do see a lot of potential for that to happen. But we would first need to scale our technology. And that is why I mentioned earlier, we decided to focus on scaling and developing our technology instead of manufacturing it. So we would need to see how long this would take and yeah, how long this would take exactly. That's all.
Because you can't do that with Bitcoin or Litecoin, but you could do it with Verge. So that's why the question, you know.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood the question. No, one day if the voice life technology would be able to provide us with this ecological, with using the green energy, we could use the energy around us, and in that case, you could also apply it to mining of Bitcoin or Litecoin. Voice life would not be, you cannot, once this technology is used in any other devices, you cannot use it for Bitcoin or Litecoin. So sorry, in the beginning I misunderstood. I didn't want to say that it can be used only with Verge, but this is how we would do it, and hopefully we would be then the first one to implement it and start using it.
And you would be the leader in transforming the entire way energy is created and used.
Yes, exactly.
It's awesome. So yeah, so I want to thank you very much for your time with us today. I greatly appreciate it.
Likewise, I would like to thank you for having me. This was quite fun and interesting, and I hope we can talk again in the future.
Is Mark's and so like I said, you advised numerous companies. So the next one I want to talk about is Casino Coin. What is Casino Coin and how does it work?
Okay, so it's been around a while. So Casino Coin is a cryptocurrency. It's been around a while. I think 2013. So it's focused on online gaming, online gambling. So kind of like the non-traditional gambling markets. I guess you could take it into sportsbook if you wanted to, but it's a token built on the XRPL, and it focuses on gambling. So your non-traditional, non-brick and mortar gambling. Can it be used in brick and mortar in the future? Absolutely, but right now what they're doing is they're one of very, very, very few in the whole space. I think that is so focused just on the gambling sector. I mean, we all know the gambling sector is one of the largest industries in the world. So, I mean, to have a cryptocurrency just dedicated, focused on that, I think is probably not a bad thing in the future.
Interesting. It's built on XRPL.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So why? I think casino coins. Around the world. I think Ethereum. I don't think XRP. Why and how is it to do it on XRP and what's the benefit?
Scaling. It allows building on the XRPL. Absolutely allows scaling a whole lot quicker. As we know with bog downs and stuff like that on the Ethereum network, we can run into whole bunch of different challenges, the gas fees and everything else. You're building on the XRPL allows you to kind of break into that world and to that community and to get support from that chain, right? So XRPL is, kind of known to be fast and inexpensive, and now you're building on that. You're getting the support from that chain as well. So
interesting. So I want to go down this avenue and see if this relates or corresponds. Looking at the role of decentralized oracles and even random functions like keepers for Chainlink, how would they be able to work on a gaming platform? And should they, as opposed to the XRP ledger?
You mean in relation to casino coin versus
to gambling coins, yeah.
In relation to versus kind of like a Chainlink, like a decentralized oracle like Chainlink. Is that kind of what you're?
Yep.
Try to be more specific. Repeat that again.
The first question I had was what's the role of decentralized oracles and randomizer functions like keepers for Chainlink, but and how would that work in the gaming environment? But you're built on XRPL, so I wanted to find out what the correlation or differences are between those two, and if the keepers would be good on an XRP system.
Absolutely. So I mean, I don't know if I'll be as an advisor. I don't know if I'll be able to technically answer your question, but as far as Chainlink goes, or as far as Casino Coin goes with randomizer functions, I mean, I think the whole point of Casino Coin was to, in the future, build its own lobby where casino, you can pay basically for that casino in Casino Coin. So having its own lobby allows more casinos to kind of come on board as we move forward into, maybe brick and mortar into slot machines, into physical slot machines. Then I think, you can save a lot of money, on your bottom line with allowing just a quick scan into that slot machine with the lobby of the, that the Casino Coin's using. But as far as being built on the XRPL, I don't know. I'm not too sure how involved Casino Coin's going to be into the randomizer functions, or gaming by chance into that part of it. I think both different use cases with Chainlink and Casino Coin, I think they're focused on two different things.
A Casino Coin, you're looking for casinos to use the Casino Coin to run the operation.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, let's just use, for example, Vegas. When you go into Vegas and you have a player's card, you put in your player's card into whatever. So you're scanning it or you're putting it into the slot machine. It reads the player's card and then it knows who you are. Well, moving forward, if you've got something like Casino Coin, it saves on touching these bills as well. Because if you scan your Casino Coin app in, it reads it all in one. I mean, Casino Coin's built-in KYC as well, so it's an all-in-one solution. It's already got KYC built right into the app, so you cannot use Casino Coin without KYC. So you see what it can do is it can easily replace a player's card, except it's all done digitally, which is going to save millions of dollars on the bottom line of the casino.
Got it. So when I think of a casino gambling coin, I think of me going on my computer and playing the slot machine or playing poker or playing, a game, and, being impacted by the fact that it might not be randomized. What we're talking here is that Casino Coin is the ecosystem coin for the whole entire online gambling industry.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, but I do see your point with randomizer functions, because myself, I was a quasi pro gambler for many years. So I've certainly played many hands of poker. So I know, way back in the day when these online gambling poker sites started, that was and it still is today. Everybody kind of questions the randomizer functions on these gambling sites, right? But
that's my biggest concern.
But they're audited. But I mean, everybody says they're audited, and then it's like, audited by who? Yeah, like it's 2021, so it's like, who's auditing? Your next door neighbor. Like, it's one of those. But it's always been those thoughts, because of course, as you know, being a poker player, it's you get the bad beats and stuff like that. It's like, well, how could that possibly happen? But I guess if a person realizes that you're getting dealt that many more hands online versus you would in physical in face-to-face play, right?
So, Mark, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today. This has been a great conversation. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about Verge. I learned a lot about Casino Coin. I learned a lot today. And I have one last question for you, and that is this. How can people find out more information about you, about your companies, about what you're working on? How can they do that?
Oh boy, that's a long list. And I certainly appreciate your guys' time as well, and taking the time out of your day, out of your holiday season, to ask us more questions about our projects. That's awesome, and I appreciate what you guys do for the tech industry. So as far as getting a hold of us, for myself, I'm currently working on my own website. It's mwittenberg.com. I am like Mary Wittenberg.com. Not quite up yet, but as far as our projects go, of course, Hypersphere, you can reach out to them at hyperspheretech.com. Casino Coin, of course, is casinocoin.im. And then if we get into Verge Currency, vergecurrency.com, and Voice Life is voice-life.com. So that's where you'll find everything about these projects.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you as well.